Hey, Dr. Neptune here. It's been a couple months since I sat down to do one of these things, so feeling a little bit nervous. I don't know why, but anyway, in the meantime, I took a trip. You might want to check out a couple short videos I made out in the desert places. But here tonight, I'm going to be talking about Twice. For future historians, it's mid-July 2021. COVID seemed to be retreating for a little bit there, but now it's kind of coming back in a big way. I'm vaccinated, but things are not looking great. And who knows what happens next. It also hit the K-pop world pretty hard recently, as it did at the beginning too. As always, there's reports often of groups and artists getting quarantined and so forth, but that's happening everywhere. Olympics are supposed to be next week in Tokyo. Who knows if that'll happen? So that's the news update. Here's Taste of Love by Twice. I'm going to talk about them mostly here, but I'm also going to start with a review of this album, Taste of Love, and this is a review from Pitchfork. It's my go-to source for music reviews. I've showed it before in other videos, and all their reviews are really well written, well researched, thoughtful, clearly written by people who know what they're talking about. And 7.3 is actually a pretty good review. In fact, if you go to this review, there's not much negative in it. Not really sure why it wasn't higher, but nevertheless, it's a good review, and I point to it as an example of K-pop's increasing, I guess, visibility in Western culture. It's been going on for a while now, I guess, and what I want to point to first of all is the fact that this review categorizes Twice as a pop R&B group, not as K-pop. In fact, there is no K-pop category in Pitchfork. If you search for it using their search thing, there's no results, which I like because it's an understanding that what we call K-pop is really part of global world pop music now. And K-pop, the term itself, has even been called a little bit racist by some because it reduces an entire country's musical output just to one thing. Korea, like any other country, has a lot of different kinds of pop music, like what we might call adult contemporary, rock even, and a lot of other types. And BTS has suggested this publicly also, that K-pop, the term, is kind of limiting, very limiting. But most terms are in music, like heavy metal or rap. They're just sort of shorthands for an overall catch-all kind of way of describing something. Anyway, the argument is that this should be called idol pop, or even Korean idol pop maybe, because it reflects the performance style and training process and things like that, in production and writing and all that of these groups. Anyway, Taste of Love got a good review here, and in order to find other reviews on Pitchfork of K-pop artists, I just either typed in their names or I linked to the writers of the reviews to see what else they had looked at. So here's BTS's album, B, and now I'm going to show the boy group portion of my collection, which is very, very short. This is B by BTS. It was released last summer, 2020. Kind of their pandemic album, and this is the deluxe version. And it's a beautiful album. I really like it a lot. They went through a whole process of recording the recording and writing of it. BTS has thousands of hours of videos, and really interesting to see their creativity. They're a group I really admire and respect. I really love to watch their performances, their intensity, very cool vibes from a lot of their music. This guy Jin in the group has got definite Brian Ferry vibes. The real main reason I don't have more boy group, or I don't listen to it more, is that I just prefer female voices. But BTS is definitely one of my favorite of the boy groups. The other one being NCT. All right, so here's Resonance. NCT stands for Neoculture Technology, and this came out last year. There's 23 guys on this cover. NCT is a sort of an umbrella or catch-all collection of artists, and there's at least 4 that I know of subunits that are, just some of these guys, and they have names like NCTU, NCT Dream, Wavy, etc. But it's a pretty impressive package here with these guys. Their music is great too. I really like a lot of their songs here. Work It's really good. And I had to get NCT Dream's latest album, Hot Sauce, solely for the cover. I mean, how could I not? It's amazing. But the song is great too, Hot Sauce, and the other songs are good too. These guys, this NCT Dream subunit of the larger NCT, and this is a fun summer album that I like a lot. And that concludes my boy group collection 3. But the theme here was Pitchfork reviews. There are, I think, 3 other reviews of BTS albums on here. They're the most reviewed K-pop group. I still use that term just as a shorthand. K-pop group on Pitchfork. But then I also found, here's Blackpink. This is not their latest release. It's Kill This Love from 2019, and it came out just before Coachella, which is sort of one of the huge breakthrough moments of K-pop when they performed there. So Kill This Love is this one right here. And then I found ITZY, their latest release, Guess Who. This was the lowest scored review on Pitchfork. Guess Who. Here's my version of it, different cover. It's their most recent release from May of this year. I have to agree, I think, with this review. ITZY's not one of my favorites. Their dancing is amazing, but their songs often sound to me like insects buzzing. Too frenetic, kind of very, very EDM influenced, I guess. But they're fun to watch and certainly colorful. So I still collect them, and I do like the individual members, especially Chaeyoung here, sister to Chaeyoung from IZ*ONE. But there's Pitchfork's review of them. What else did I find here? Oh, the other ones were older. Interestingly, here's an FX album from 2015. Girl group. This was after the departure of founding member Sully, who 4 years after this committed suicide. Terrible time at about the same time Guhara from Kara did the same thing. Largely, it seems, as a result of online bullying, but other issues too. Of course, none of that could be seen here. This is again, it's a very positive, enthusiastic review of this album. I don't know why the number isn't higher, but Pitchfork is sort of notoriously tough anyway. I think it's enough that they give recognition to these artists. Here's To Anyone, second generation girl group from 2014 here. So their album Crush. And then G-Dragon, male solo artist, Coup d'etat from 2013. That's about all I could find in terms of Pitchfork reviews, but I'm happy to see them included along with Pitchfork's other reviews of rock, alternative, rap, notable pop artists. They'll review things like Taylor Swift, etc. But nice to see that recognition. Okay, so this is the latest release, Taste of Love, and I'm gonna go through here. I don't have every release of Twice, but I have a lot of them. So this is the oldest one I have, Signal, from 2017. I like the rainbow packaging. They started off as a very bubblegum pop group. If you read that Pitchfork article, it'll go into more detail on that. So a lot of their early songs and singles were very much like that. This is a single from here is Likey. It's their first full album from 2017, and a play on Instagram. They still call their Instagram page Twice-tagram. And this is Momo on the cover. Here's the names of the members, 9 members in Twice. The group was formed on a reality television show, which is really popular in Korea, I guess everywhere. But it's produced a number of really huge groups, including Twice. So it was a thing where partly the audience would vote, partly judges would choose, and they ended up with 9 members. This is their album with the song, with their big hit, Dance the Night Away. When I first saw this on YouTube, I really was hoping this was a cover of the Van Halen song, but it wasn't. Still a great song, a lot of fun. Summer Nights from 2018. All right, so I think I lost track of what I was saying there for a second, but I'm going through chronologically their releases. Yes or Yes, I guess, oh yeah, the bubblegum sound and the evolution of it. So a lot of them were these really bouncy, chirpy kind of songs, really fun and well produced. But that all kind of changed with Fancy, which came out in 2019. The song Fancy and the video for Fancy marked a big change in style. You can even see it, I guess, on the cover, where the one just before it, more youthful, I guess, and here more sophisticated. And their sound has really gone in that direction ever since this. So this is a nice turning point for them. And then Feel Special continued that. More and More came out last summer of 2020. I listened to this a lot last summer. I really liked this one, single More and More, and the B-sides are all kind of cool summery songs. And then in the fall of last year came Eyes Wide Open, still pretty sophisticated look here with the suits, photo cards and whatnot. The single from here was I Can't Stop Me. And then, I guess I started with their latest one, which is the, hold on. Taste of Love. Okay, so released last month. Single from here is Alcohol Free. It's a fun, really lightweight kind of bossa nova influenced song. And that Pitchfork review talks about all these songs in detail. Cry For Me, English version here. Cry For Me was a good single from end of last year. I'm going to link to that in the description, a performance of it in their dance studio. There's only 8 of them in that one. Jeon Young was out for health reasons, but still really great example of their dancing and a good song too. And I'll just conclude with some items from my Twice library. They've got some really nice books. And here's a Feel Special monograph, which is basically just behind the scenes pictures of the video and photo shoot for Feel Special. Let's see, so all that from here. They've done this ever since Feel Special, up to the current album too. But I just have this one. I think that's all I need for my collection. And then Twice has started a series of what I assume is going to be 9 books. First 3 are here, and they're called photo books, which is the same thing they call these, that come with the CDs. They're photo books, but this is on a larger scale. It's like a full-on art photography book. It really fits in with a lot of the other of my collection. I have a video called Bookshelf, where you can see this in context with a lot of my other art and photography and fashion books. So Chewy here was the first member to get a book. There's no words at all in any of these, other than the title and the credits at the end. So just pictures of the members. Chewy first. And then Mina. Each book so far has come out in 2 different versions with 2 different covers. So I only have one of the 2 of each. These are reasonably priced, I think, about $50 each. Very well put together, good quality, nice paper, good printing, colors, etc. And photography, of course. And then the third and latest one to come out, I think, earlier this year is for Sana. The first 3 photo books were of foreign members, that is, non-Koreans. Chewy's from Taiwan, Sana and Mina are Japanese. So I look forward to completing this collection. No word there on when they come out. As well as with CD releases, the companies keep a pretty tight lip up until usually about a month before, in most cases, when something's going to come out. And then it's a full-on publicity blitz. So I'm going to finish with, I guess, this image of Sana from Twice. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click like, and I will be back another time.